What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's happening? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you don't know who I am, I'm blessed by Abe. How are you guys today? Now, today we're going to do something dope. This is one of my old students. Yes, one of my old students. I used to work at an after school program, and I've been knowing him, man, since he was knee high to a butterfly. So right now, all we're gonna do is just get him back to his seasick ways. So all I'm doing is just with the one open, with the grain, going with the grain all the way down, just trying to debulk. Take your time, have a brush it down. Don't forget, always have a brush when you're working with waves. Wavers know this. They will call you out if you don't have a comb, a brush, something. You always need to be brushing everything down. Now, I had him this morning, so all I had to do is really just knock down the bulk. I could have closed it and, gone really quick, but I wanted to take my time, so I went lever from lever, just going shorter to shorter. From the crown, I went with a one open all the way, but as the more I go down and further to the lineup and the taper and the nape of the neck, I start closing the guard all the way till it's fully closed, so you can get that full transition. There you go. You see me brushing, trying to get this down. Now, he's a real waver. He takes his time. He has two do-rags on. He's brushing. I like clients like this. There's some clients that don't like taking care of their hair, and hey, that's totally fine. But if you want that nice seasick look, you always have to brush your hair. Always. So in the back, he does have a tail. Usually might do two or one, but the back, the outsides, we're growing them back out in this video. So he wanted to get more of like a duck tail instead of a rat tail. So that's why I didn't taper the back, but we usually do a low taper in the back of his neck. So sometimes I like to line them up just so I can be a clean cut. There's sometimes I fade first or line up first. It's just how I feel. Today I just decided to line up the back quick for no reason. Now I'm getting closer to the lineup, lower to the ear. That's where you see my lever fully closed. That's where I'm getting all the little baby hairs, the stragglers, everything. Details count, guys. Details do count. So all I'm gonna do is just retouch up my line, get it nice and crisp, right before I start the taper on the side of his sideburns. Now I'm using my babyliss Barber edition liners. I'm just taking off the bulk. Some of my clients can't use the boulders because they will bump up, so I'll go as close to zero gap as possible. And all I'm doing is just setting my first guideline, which is lever open, and little by little just going higher and higher with that lever, trying to get that line out. Next, I set my one guideline, lever all the way closed. Don't forget to brush. Always brush. Don't forget. Now I have my half guard all the way open, and little by little, as you can see, I'm closing my lever. The higher I get, the lever goes higher. Have my one and a half guard, excuse me, closed, and I'm gonna set that guideline so I can use my one all the way open to start fading out that line. Don't rush, take your time. With coarse hair, you always want to brush back to where the hair is going just so you can get that clean cut. You don't want to have a choppy fade. It really will pop out in these type of haircuts with coarse hair. The choppiness, not brushing, it will not look finished and it will look clean, very dirty. It will look very dirty, not clean. I'm sorry, it would not look clean. So all I'm doing is just detail right now. I've already faded down. So I'm just seeing where I can erase more of the dark, heavy lines. I'm hitting it with the two closed and just brushing down as I scoop up just to soften up that line again. And once again, I have the 1.5 all the way open and I'm just fading down, nothing too crazy. One guard all the way open, just tapping at that line, softening it up. There is no rush. Now, this is a big secret. If you guys don't know, with waves, always brush, brush, brush. And once you're with that finished product, you can always go with the grain just to line up that line. I didn't learn that for a while, and I'm glad that I got that tip that helped me out so much better. Now, in my opinion, I love lining up. I think lining up just makes everything so much crispier. So I always try to get as sharp and straight and rounded corners just so you can accentuate the hair and just make everything else pop. I'm using the 2 guard going down with the grain just to soften up his beard. We want to keep that bulk. We don't want to knock it down too low so you can't see how dark and full it is. So that's a good tip for you guys. If you want to keep a dark full beard, just go with the number with the grain just to soften up the stragglers. So now I'm doing the other side, nothing too crazy. I set my first guideline. I'm gonna get the clipper all the way open and just lever, just go up and just keep fading it up. Now those are the Gamma ergos. I'm Team Gamma for liners. I'm Team babyliss. If you guys have any questions on what I prefer, I used to use walls, but I've grown into appreciation for the Gammas. Now you can see his hair already, how wavy he is. I haven't even put any product in it. I didn't hot towel it. I didn't do anything, and he's already dipping, and that's because he brushes. He brushes. He brushes. He takes care of his hair. You don't see that he has all this grease everywhere and all this gunk. He takes everything out. He really, you can tell who's dedicated to the waves when it comes to the culture. All I'm doing right now is just fading down, lever open with the 1.5. Sometimes when I do a beard, I like having the guards open and then closing them. The Gammas do have notches where the lever is, so I can go notch by notch, so it just makes it that much more precise. So that's the hot towel I'm telling you about. If you guys haven't had a hot towel when you get your waves, ask for a hot towel and tell them to put it on your head. That is one of the biggest secrets. I have some wave cream from Atlanta, and I put that on, had the hot towel, and just let it rest, and it'll do its job. Trust me. So I got some more wave cream, brushing it in. You got to keep them all seasick. You got to keep them nice. Remember, you have to have a hard bristle brush and a soft bristle brush. Right now, that's just the spritz. We're going to get the front lineup going on. I love spritz. Spritz is your best friend to get that crisp haircut. There's people that use just start lining up and it doesn't come out that well. Big secret. Spritz will help out a lot of your haircut. It'll look more detailed. We are not your average barbers anymore, guys. We got to be detailed, detailed, detailed. As you can see, I had a soft bristle first, and now I'm going with the harder bristle brush, just so we can get those defined waves into his hair. I got the FX3s. I really don't use these clippers at all. I don't know, but I like to take off the bulk with them. They're great to take off the bulk when they're fully charged. They have that extra motor just so you can get those little stragglers. If you zero gap them, they work perfectly, but you do have to fade down if you want to use them as a fading clipper. Me, I just use them to take off bulk. Always start the lineup in the middle so you have a perfect guideline to see where it ends on each side. I know a lot of people that start on the corners and one side always comes out higher than the other. Trust me. Start out in the middle, it will help a lot and save you a lot of time trying to refix your lineup. Now, Rafael's not scared to let me know if one side's higher than the other or if he needs me to fix the lineup. Clients, don't be scared. If there's something that you don't like or something that you want to be suggested to take off, ask. We will not get offended. This is your haircut. Now, when it comes to the straight razor, stretch the skin. Always stretch the skin. Now, some people with coarse hair cannot get the straight razor. They will bump up just like using the balders. Rafael can use the straight razor. Now, I have some bump spray. I have some aftershave. I have everything in my toolbox, if you will, in my briefcase, in my I have the tools so he won't get bumps. But I've been cutting him for so long, so we know what works and what doesn't work. So to be on the safe side, I always use the bump spray, the anti-bump, and aftershave. Oh yeah, crispy, crispy. Always stretch the skin. Please, always stretch the skin. You will nick someone or hurt someone if you do not stretch the skin. Yeah, guys, that's the final product. Let me know what you think. See sick. You can see my little pipsqueak feet in the background. If you guys like the haircut, like, subscribe, follow me at Blessed by Abe.